to the demonstration of the power of tabs. In Paragon, everything is a tab. Believe it or not, I'm on the home screen, but I'm also on the home tab. If you look here, it's a tab. And if I want to do a search, if I click search, go to residential, guess what happens? It opens up another tab. This is actually quite ingenious. It means I can multitask. So if I also want to do a CMA, I click CMA, create presentation, and now I'm on the CMA tab. The great thing is I can continue to work on my CMA here, build a great masterpiece. But if somebody calls in the middle and interrupts me and says, hey, can you search for some properties for me? I don't have to get rid of my CMA tab. I can leave it open. I can click residential, do my residential search. When I'm done, click CMA again and continue on. That's the power of these tabs. And the great thing is I can have multiple tabs open. Several. If I click residential and I want to do more than one search, I click new search here and it opens up a second tab. Let's say I want to do 3 searches. Click new search. Now I have 3 searches going at once and I can just switch in between them with no problem. This means I can search for properties for 3 clients, maybe even more at once, and not worry about losing my information. The only way I'm going to lose anything is if I close the tab. So if you don't want to close the tabs, you don't have to. Keep them open, come back to them later. But if you're done with the tab, just hit the little X in the upper right, that tab goes away, and you're done. Now I'm going to go back to my CMA and continue to build my masterpiece. Here's the thing with Paragon. Don't ever click the back button. Don't ever click the refresh button. If you're trying to find something you couldn't find before, just go look for the tab. More than likely, it's still open and everything you were doing is still there. Hope this helps. Use Paragon tabs. They're powerful. Now, let's move on to the second half of our Tech Tip Tuesday, listing tips. And this week we're going to talk about listing agreements where you're not going to put the listing in the MLS right away. Normally, when you take a listing and you sign the agreement, you have 2 business days to put it into the MLS, 48 hours to be exact. But there are those times where you sign a contract that says you're going to keep it out of the MLS for a certain amount of time per the seller's instructions. And in that case, you have to do one extra thing when it comes to the MLS. You need to send us the paperwork that shows that your seller wants it out of the MLS till a certain date. Normally, we're not going to ask you for your listing agreement, but in this case, the MLS rules state that you must send us the listing agreement so we know that the seller knows that it's not going into the MLS for a certain time. So if you are going to take a listing like that, make sure you email me your listing agreement. That way I know, and the rest of the world knows, that you're going to put the listing in later. Thanks, and I hope you have a great Tuesday.